traversed the tombs of Naxxramas. We've climbed every cliff on Black Rock. Now the world cries out for heroes. As a new evil rises, there will be danger. There will be doom. There will be ancient temples filled with relics, treasures, and traps. Who will answer the call?
We will lead, explorers lead, and we are in need of explorers. Adventure we seek, cross land and sea. Born to come and join us.
Yes!
Welcome back, everyone, to the SLI League Star Series. I'm Noxious, and with me, Lothar. We took a bit of a longer break than we expected, but I think I sorted out some of my issues with Skype, but we'll hopefully never run into them. I think so, maybe. We'll see.
If it's so easy to fix up your life problems, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I just like reboot the PC and then, you know, tweak stuff. Such an easy life. That being said, we're on to the next match, the third match of the day between Stancifka and Dog. Stancifka, we saw him earlier, ended up winning against Cypher 3-0. He's got a chance here to consolidate his lead in the group by going 3-1 if he ends up beating Dog. Otherwise, he will be 2-2 with still a pretty decent score, so we'll see how this ends. We know Dog is playing a Druid, Rogue, and a Paladin deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but just wanted to point out there's Innervate and Coin already in Dog's hand, and he has Ancient of Law, so he has a way to replenish his hand also. Very interesting opening hand for him, but the problem is he has no early game, so he is pushed to use the Living Roots just as 1/1s, in my opinion, in this situation, because that puts Stancifka in a position when he would like to ping twice, and that's 4 mana investment into a 1-mana card, which is okay. Dog is losing a card for just Temple, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, and you are preventing a turn 3 secret, right? Like, if there's a duplicate, Stancifka would have been happy here to play it on 3, and now he has to, you know, make a decision as to which of those, you know, options he values the most. Now, Stancifka could play Brand, but it feels a bit awful considering there might be a Coin Keeper from Dog, so you've got to be a little cautious about throwing away minions like this.
Well, Brand's Bronzebeard is something I would never do. Like, just not play in that type of deck that Stancifka is running. He just doesn't get any kind of value from it. Played on
Scarabs, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the Scarabs, so.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, for Dog, there's no difference. He has to kill the Brand Bronzebeard as soon as possible, right? Whatever is in the Stancifka's hand, he has to kill that as soon as possible. But from Stancifka's point of view, if he plays that Brand Bronzebeard, he doesn't have that upside from playing him, apart from the fact that he has a 2/4 body on board, and that's
right. It's only a threat. All it does is it threatens Dog, but if Dog doesn't have a response, then you can't really take advantage of it, is what you're saying. So there's really no reason to play it. That's a kind of interesting card. He's got the Nova Doomsayer already set up, if he wants it, a bit later down the line. The thing is, this is a type of thing where you almost just want to play it as fast as possible because of the fact that the longer you wait, the more likely it is that Keeper of the Grove is found. But you can find good timings. You know, Nova Doomsayer into a Blizzard, that buys you a lot of time.
That's true. But now it seems like this is a turn when I feel like you would have to just ping the 1/1. Leave the Big Game Hunter on board. You have the option to freeze the board with the Frost Nova and Doomsayer to clear the next turn. You can play around the Keeper anyway. So
yeah, might as well. Let him overextend a bit more, perhaps. Then Nova Doomsayer, then Blizzard, and then see what else you drew in the meantime. Reevaluate your turns. You know, the type of deck that Stancifka's playing is exactly the type of deck where every single card you see makes you reevaluate the way you're going to play the game. And it's not the case for every deck, since they tend to have a game plan. Stancifka's deck is one that has multiple decisions to be made, and they're all going to lead to different outcomes.
Now the Ancient of Law gives Dog 2 cards, and those cards are not as useful as it would like to be. The Belcher is not bad, of course, but he had a 5-drop already. So what he would like to get is an example under Innervate, just have that option of clearing the board or just winning the game instantly on turn 7 with the combo. But now, the Doomsayer is an immovable object.
Yeah, but Dr. Boom can come out on turn 7. So Dog, you know, I think picking up that Dr. Boom is even better than the prospect of playing the Ancient of Lore. It looked fine to play the Lore on 7, let's say, but the Dr. Boom just looks even better. Oh, Stancifka does get a free turn to develop the Ethereal Conjurer, so he doesn't have anything to threaten it, and that is a 6/3, which kills a Druid of the Claw. So there's no chance of Dog being able to put that down without some kind of drawback, and even Dr. Boom is contested by it.
Yeah, but that's a very interesting thing that actually Conjurer here is so much better than Azure Drake in this particular situation. But in most situations, you will just get wrecked by the Wrath. But not in this case. So it will be worthwhile to play that that Conjurer.
Yeah, I mean, let's assume a Wrath comes out, right? Like, what's the worst thing that Druid plays? I guess in this case, Druid of the Claw would be a little annoying because you'd have to deal with a 4/6 and you don't have Fireballs. So that would be kind of annoying if Dog did indeed have the Wrath. But lucky for Stan, that's not the case. In fact, his 6/3 can basically steal the Dr. Boom away unless he wants to use other means to get there. He doesn't have necessarily to use the 6/3 to trade. He could always start to try BGHing, but you might as well conserve your resources depending on how much you value this. Well, he does get a good and clean trade.
Well, that was okay. He still has the 6/2 and 4/2 on board, and he knows that there are no Keepers of the Grove. So I think like Dokis might be pushed to use the Force of Nature here just to clear those two guys. He doesn't develop anything.
Awful. Yeah,
it is awful because, but the only thing that is awful about this turn is the fact that he can't really develop the board. But if he plays Sylvanas, I think it's even worse.
Yeah, you know there's polymorph in that deck though. Like any freeze, any polymorph, the double trade into whatever mana Stancifka wants to spend on anything he wants. And now Dog is thinking, do I push phase to put him on 14 and win next turn? Or is he going to read into this so much so that I simply never get to pull it off? Whether he heal bots or he uses a Belcher, you know, some kind of secret that he might have gotten from, let's say, the Ethereal Conjurer. He doesn't know yet what the Conjurer gave.
Yeah, and I love this play because it in a ways, it's telling your opponent here that two secrets that can be played in these situations. Either Duplicate, because it's a Belcher and rolls on to duplicate a Belcher, or it's Mirror Entity and you're just giving up 5/5 to the opponent. And of course it's a Duplicate, so Dog didn't even bother to check it for a different minion because there was no better minion to give his opponent than the Ancient of Lore anyway. But I'm sure that if he would have a Dancer's Aspen, that would be the first thing to play here to just check, because he knows that there are mirror entities in this deck.
Yeah, he does. He has seen Stancifka's list almost at this point, just looking at the VODs. Dog has a really big hand, but the problem is not so much that he doesn't have cards, is that he might never be able to go through to use those cards to deal damage to Stan at this stage, right? Just looking at this, he's like, Stan has the ability to go for Healbot plus Echo of Medivh, which might be very reasonable. But if he's greedy, and this is exactly what he seems to be doing, he's going to play everything he's got, go back to full, and then Echo afterwards. Wow. That is absolutely insane. And now Dog has to check for Duplicate. He knows that's what it is. And
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? That Stancifka would like to echo the Little Slime instead of Belcher, because he will have Belchers already, most likely. And the Little Belcher can be just filling out the curve in a easier way than another Belcher.
So getting the 1/2 slimes would be a lot better for him, is what you're saying, because they're basically Goldshire footmen that you just spam the board with, right?
Yes, exactly. And Druid has the problem with that, because the only way to play around it is a swipe with Dazzle Drake.
Wow. This is a full board clear for Dog. Now the question is, do you keep that Innervate for the inevitable second Savage Roar that you find later on? Because that could be a crazy game winner. Alternatively, if you kill the Belcher and swipe Bran, I mean, you have to kill Brand first, so you really can't afford to do something like this. You'd have to innervate out the swipe afterwards. Ouch. At least you're good in a spot like this.
Well, 2 brands are not that useful in this situation, right?
Well, the problem with Brand is that, and this is a really big drawback with Brand, is that it doesn't state that you trigger a battle cry an extra time. It literally says twice. So having 3 brands doesn't give you, 4 battle cries. It's just
exactly.
Baron Rivendell style like a copy of the effect.
So, I guess you can use the sheep to clear, just or use the blizzard. And now let's think, what are the lines of play that we can take here? Developing one of the bronze beards might also be good. So,
I don't mind the echo play, right? Like you just go sheep, yeah.
Sheep, echo, maybe even mad scientist.
Yeah, might as well get all the secrets out of your deck.
But he goes for the blizzard, so I guess he will develop the bronze beard or the mad scientist just to get the mirror entity out next turn. But the problem is the mirror entity now might have a lot of less value than it had in the previous turns when there's a bigger chance of drawing those Dionysus aspirants now.
Man, if Dog had the second Savage Roar, I have no doubt that he would just go for double Jewel of the Claw, put his opponent on 22, and force a Flame Strike trade or something along those lines.
And just
something completely insane. Right, exactly. Something completely insane because he does have the swipe on the back end in case a bit of healing goes through. So that would be one of the options. Alternatively, here, I don't necessarily mind the... just cycling with Wild Growth, playing the Belcher. It's a boring card, but it starts the board up.
I don't think the cycling through the deck is an option right now. I feel like you have to play 2 minions, and 2 minions is Belcher and Druid with the Claw face.
Yeah, you have to charge, because otherwise Flame Strike is... like, you're a sitting duck for Flame Strike if you don't use those Druids of the Claw aggressively. So we'll see what Dog opts to do here.
Well, if he played Belcher, that's clear that he will go with the Druid of the Claw. Otherwise, he would have been cycling first with the Wild Crow instead.
Well, he's gonna go in taunt mode, not charge.
Taunt mode. It's very interesting.
Double polymorph as Stansifka. So the first polymorph was from the Ethereal Conjurer, by the way, for those who might have just come in. So it wasn't quite in his deck. He actually just got it from the Conjurer, which means that Dog may expect 1 polymorph, but the second one may be a bit of a surprise to him.
Well, this makes... Let's analyze the board here. Oh, where's my Skype? Here.
I see an Echo coming out. There's no Echo here. You can go double sheep if you want and ping it. Like, that's the old school play of play a sheep, echo it, play the other sheep and ping it.
And you clear the board. Right. Because the triggers are one after each other, and Belcher would trigger before the second explosion.
Exactly. So this is a 10 mana play that's actually pretty common. Oh, crazy! Dog picks up the Emperor here. He's already got 2 pieces of the combo. We know he's got 1 more Savage Roar, so if he picks it up right now, the amount of pressure he can put is ridiculous. And the cool thing is, he doesn't even have to wait. He can innervate out the Shredder right now and keep the mana reduction on Force of Nature Savage Roar without needing the innervate in the future.
Well, the innervate doesn't have that value right now because the Emperor alone gives you 2.5 innervate just by playing it. If you just empty the board, so I totally agree with you. Playing the Emperor and Pilot Shredder seems like the best option here.
Yeah, I feel like Dog, even though it looked like he was getting roadblocked by Stansifka, is still well on his way to put too much pressure on Stan, depending on how these things line up.
Is there a secret there?
Yeah, the scientist died in the explosions.
Oh, yeah, right. So this is most likely Mirror Entity. But still, the Emperor seems like the best option.
Yeah, it's not as though you have that many choices in Dog's position. I mean, if he's able to get that double combo and just a little bit more damage with Judo the Claw and Swipe, that's 8, and the combo is another 22 on its own. So if you're able to put that together, that might just be enough to win the game. It's going to take maybe another Swipe or a Keeper A funny Keeper of the Grove lethal is not even that far-fetched, but with the Brand Bronzebeard, with the heal bot, you have to basically kill that mage in one fell swoop.
And one Dog has to remember is the fact that he gave the Bronzebeards back to Stancifka, and Stancifka echoed one of the heal bots.
I really hope Dog remembers that.
So he can't go for like a 2 turns lethal setup because that won't work. Of course, unless he has board control at any given point of the game. But it doesn't seem like it.
Alright.
Polymorph on the Palta Shredder. Oh, that's actually a very good drop.
That's an insane draw. See, if he polymorphs the Shredder here, he's guaranteeing that he keeps the board for as long as he wants it. Could even play Brand as a 2-4. Don't even need the Battle Cry on this. If you set it up now, you're possibly going to get the Ethereal Conjurer next turn if Dog doesn't kill this. But Dog has to kill this, right?
Does he? The second Brand's Bronzebeard is in the hand.
No, but I mean, just to get the board, right? Like, you play Keeper, swipe, and then you Hero Power, go face, set up some minions. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have to. Maybe you're right. Let's see.
What about Sylvanas and Druid of the Cloud in hunt mode? And just
Flame Strike again, right?
But there was no Flame Strike. I think, at least.
That will be the one of the tips that Doug had been given by Stancifka's turns. But at the same time, of course, there are 2 in the decks in the deck, so it can make a huge difference.
It's kind of tricky if you're a Dog, because, I mean, Stancifka is a very greedy player, and that's what I love about his playstyle, but it also indicates that he will not use that Flame Strike until he is absolutely forced to. Oh, wow, another Polymorph. Okay. Well, that's unusual. Oh, Stancifka's actually dead a double combo if he plays Conjurer Ping and passes.
The Conjurer is an interesting pick because it can be something that will fit the Kirva was so fast to pick it up.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. The combo is not lethal anymore. Double combo was lethal a second ago if Dog picked up the second roar.
And now he's really in a difficult position. I think this is just the turn when you play Shade of Naxxramas and Ping with his hero power, and that's it. Because Druid of the Claw doesn't necessarily do anything. If you play both Shade of Naxxramas and Druid of the Claw, you play directly into the Flame Strike, and he didn't opt for those really aggressive turns before, so I'm not counting him on that kind of change of playstyle in this situation.
I like the Shade and pass, maybe, right? That's... I mean, if there's Flame Strike, you see it right away. Or if not right away, then he leaves your minion alive for 1 turn, which means the Savage War top deck is lethal. So what you're looking for here is Stancifka being so greedy with Flame Strike that he doesn't kill your Shade if he has Flame Strike, and that means you top deck Savage War and win. So it's kind of unlikely, but it is a potential scenario.
Well, it seems like Dog has 4 cards left, maybe 5, 6.
Yeah, it looks about that amount. So it's like in the 20% range, maybe, like 15 to 20%.
Interesting game. I mean, usually you don't see that kind of development against Druid because either the game is already just done by the mage, he's dead, and or the Druid is just having the most awkward draws and can't do anything in the game anyway.
Yeah, this is a weird spot for Stan because he knows that if he leaves the Shade alive, I mean, he can't kill it right now. If he lets it live, then he dies to double combo. Does he waste a heal bot on this? Right, that's always the question. And I feel like because he's played around double combo last turn, he's going to play around it again right here. Yeah, Stan is very scared. Very scared of the double combo. And he was right!
Wow!
He was right. So how much damage is that? We're looking at...
That's 22 to 27 damage.
27, exactly. So earlier he had the lethal at 26. Not quite there yet, but he can still use his Druid of the Claw next turn to finish the game off.
Wait, sorry, 28 damage, because I forgot about the hero power.
Right.
No, wait, didn't use it. No, never mind. 27.
Well, does he... No, he's 1 off, right? 29? Yeah, that's exactly 29. Yeah. So earlier he was like a few damage,
Oh,
a few
yeah,
damage
what
points
I'm
off lethal.
I'm
But
talking
now the
about.
funny thing is, right now Stancifka has no way to get back the heal bot, and thus no way to stabilize. Stancifka is actually dead here.
Just Druid things.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that Stancifka can do to live until the next turn. If he had even a Belcher would have saved him. Don't need Ice Block or any type of shenanigans from something like the Conjurer. So it's just really unfortunate for Stan, because he played around the double combo magnificently, but didn't have the Flame Strike in time to kill the Shade. Well, I'm liking this. This is it was a really well played game by both players, though. No matter what, it's just hard to.
The highlight of the game was the fact that Dog gave Stancifka 2 Bronze Beards instead of the Belcher, because the Belcher would have been sealing the game right now, most likely.
Yeah, no, Stancifka's gonna hope that maybe Dog blunders and attacks the 6-1. But I mean, there's no way Dog doesn't even try to pop the block, right? Like, why would you not? If there's an ice block, at least try to pop it. Dog is thinking, why does he pass? what is he trying to do to me here? What is this?
And
All right.
that's it. Dog takes the first game.
Right, this finish looked like I was going to be dragged on, but well played for both players, honestly. The heal from the heal bot by Stancifka, understanding exactly what the threat is, right? That was very good, because it was a very massive overheal if you look at it, but ultimately if he hadn't done that, he was dead immediately.
So that would have given the information for Dog that it's not an ice block, right?
Right.
And now it seems like the mage is, well, currently not doing that well. But it still has to win against a rogue and a paladin if Stancifka wants to secure the win.
Yeah, I think the
I bet
Paladin
Dog
is a victory, though. I think the Paladin can definitely be won against based on the deck that Stancifka is playing, if only if you play it slow. However, when it comes to winning against the Rogue, that might be a bit tougher, depending on the amount of burst they put together. Because Dog can be a very patient player, and he knows how to set up burst.
Yep. I mean, we saw very interesting games yesterday from his Rogue when he was going really aggressively with the with the Tinkmeister Sharpsword Oil. So can't wait for his Rogue play here, and it's actually one of the rare occasions to see how the Oil Rogue pairs against a Secret Paladin. You don't see that often on ladder.
I mean, I guess you don't see much Rogue on ladder, right? That's probably why it's so it's so unusual. But for some reason, it's kind of, I feel like I see a lot more of the Raptor Rogue than I see Oil these days, even though Oil is still considered by most, and rightfully so, to be kind of the superior one. That's a pretty interesting turn, but I feel like it's kind of playing itself.
Well, you need to kill those minions as soon as possible if you want to take advantage of your minions at all. And I like using the Eviscerate here, definitely worth it.
Yeah, this is good because on turn 4 he's setting up for Deadly Poison SI, which basically means that he's able to deal with, in this case, the Powdered Shredder perfectly.
Wow, but look at that. There's a 10-6 Meister's Challenger and a 10-8 Tyrion.
But there's no turn 5.
Yeah. And what is
So-
very interesting is the fact that Doug has the Violet Teacher, is one of the best answers to Paladin Shredders and in Paladin in general, because it generates the 1/1s that are battling the board control with the Paladin. So one of the best minions to have on turn 4 against that pack in that particular situation.
Yeah, so Doug was considering throwing out the Violet Teacher, which, as you said, it would have spawned a bunch of 1/1s to contest whatever the Paladin was trying to do. And this is a pretty interesting call, because if it's a 3-2, you kill it with your SI. If it's a 2-3, the SI kills it, right? Or you're deadly next turn. So no matter what, I feel like the outcome is pretty alright.
I would love to see the Violet Teacher, because it's the thing I usually go by when it comes to minion placement and on the board is the fact that your minion without an immediate effect on board will have to wait one turn to have anything going on, right? An agent is a minion that basically has a charge with to attack, and Divine Shield, you can count it like that, when the Violet Teacher has to wait the one turn to attack. And it was a great answer to the Violet Teacher anyway. And he would take advantage of the Deadly Poison next turn to spawn more minions, while having the answer to play Blade Flurry to contest on any kind of shenanigans with Massive Battle.
Yeah, I think we got a spectator glitch here because the Drake flew, and after the Drake flew, everything kind of lagged out, right? Everything's kind of glitched right now.
Now I can't really see anything.
Yeah, that's my point, exactly. I don't know if it's just on our end. I might hope that we're actually not missing too much of the action. I got the vibe that it was actually frozen after the Drake was dragged by Dog to the enemy's face, which meant a single turn had passed. An entire turn had passed, and he hadn't done
look at that.
anything. Yeah, I told you, man. I missed something. The Drake attacked, the Noble Sack triggered, everything happened, and now we're actually in a spot where, well, you know, things happened, and we missed.
Things happened. There's a
good chunk of it.
9-8 on board. Yeah, but that's
So-
prep.
Yeah,
And
prep
I'm not
sprints.
sure if the minions already attacked it. Still frozen. It's really hard to cast without the screen.
The image?
So, yeah.
You need a screen to cast? Oh.
Well, we can always improvise and be like other casters, but
So he prep sprinted, and he got the Eviscerate with another prep, which allowed him to use Blade Flurry for 2, and then prep the Eviscerate to kill the 9-8, and then everything, you know, went well.
everything vanished. Whoops.
Well, we'll get back the call as soon as we can. Don't worry about it. It's just Skype doing Skype things.
Yep.
You know, Blizzard ought to add this. Actually, we talked about that, but Blizzard really ought to add this voice because they already do that for other games with voice communication, spectator mode, at some point.
Oh, even in game in Hearthstone,
That would be so good to actually
only
get a
in
spectator
friend list,
mode.
man.
Sure, no problem. No, I don't want to be talking to random strangers. I can tell you right now, it's going to be pretty toxic.
This would be even worse than the CS:GO warm up was.
No, man, I don't want to. No.
Anyway, let's see what's happening on the board because Dog is left with 9 HP.
No, see, I don't see that. I actually see nothing. I'll be right back then.
Oh, okay.
Put your faith in the light.
I feel like Dog did something, and we just we got Skyped.
Dog played cards. He gave a lot of damage, and Stansivka is dead from what I have seen.
Well, he's not quite dead. I know there's a sap in Dog's hand.
Yeah, well, that's more than enough to get lethal. Because even if there's noble sacrifice,
Yeah,
Dog
that's
will
it.
trigger that with the dagger, and that's more than enough to kill.
Well, I hadn't even seen this. I missed like the entire game, I feel. So it went by really quick. The Rogue did, and you know, it took the win. We kind of expected Rogue to do pretty well against Stansivka's decks. But it's kind of the only one. You know, it's funny. Dog will defend Rogues to his death. It's like, yeah,
he won.
it's favored against everything. He's kind of right. He's kind of right. Every single time he plays, it's like, yeah, kind of works out. The one time it did not, I think, was at ATLC. Things didn't really line up for him there for his Rogue play.
Yeah, that's true. And but now he will be left with the Paladin, and that was a really greedy Paladin with the Kel'Thuzad and Pilot Sky Golems. If I remember correctly, I can't really say if he's playing Rena Jackson in that because, but I think he was playing Double Blessing of Kings.
Yeah, it's a mid. I think it's just a mid-range pally with a high end curve. Like it's curving pretty high, but it doesn't have, you know, the whole crazy Reno control aspect that Life Coach brought. So it's got more of a standard list. We see 2 zombie chows, both players picking one up. Stansivka is playing a Reno Jackson Warlock. So that could be kind of interesting. Reno Jackson Warlock versus a mid-range Paladin.
How does that pair up? But there's a zombie chow in turn 1 for both players.
Yeah.
I mean, Hostform has to be watching that and saying, like, why can I have that? Why can I have
the thing is, he gets that. It's just they also come back at the worst time. Is the Owl worth it here if you're Stan? We know he's got a Spellbreaker in his deck, right? So he's got another Silence for Tyrion later on, but he doesn't value killing the Creeper here because he does feed the Zombie Chow in that case to the other Zombie Chow.
The mirror, my god, Mind Control tech might make a huge difference here because it can be triggered next turn if the dog will play a minion here. But he's not going for it. He wants to have the most board control right away. And I like it a lot. The Zombie Chow with the Divine Shield, I think that's a very valuable. You can pop your Haunted Creeper in this situation just to value that Divine Shield more and just to play around big minions that will have to crash into it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Hellfire may be a worry. So the question is, were the 1/1s better off being out so the Keeper can enable them? Or was it better to pop, to leave the Creeper up so you're protected against AoE? I think it's a tough decision. You can make the case for either of those. Do not silence the Chow.
No, that's not what you do, usually. Huh. It's a interesting turn for Stan Cifka though. Did you just really Dark Bomb that? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Knife Juggler, but it's still a pretty annoying minion. And now Dog can opt to play the Juggler and the Minibot, still staying under the radar of the MC Tech, because we know that Dog knows that Stan Cifka has an MC Tech. So it's a very important piece of information. Trying to keep yourself away from a possible disaster.
I was thinking about Minibot and Hero Power instead.
Sure.
Because that would just play more slow into the game, but at the same time, that's not bad. Because Dog wants to play slow with his deck. And it will guarantee him better options with the trades if he gets a Master of Battle, an example, after a clear. So...
yeah, I could see that. MC Tech here will probably get Stan Cifka some value because he gets to pop the Spider and then use the MC Tech. If he gets lucky, this could turn the game around. You know, get that 5/5 and you're good to go.
Oh!
Nope. Not quite what you're looking for. Still not too bad, though.
Well,
you
lost
can't
50,
complain.
50, but it's okay.
Right.
For 3 mana, you got basically, for 3 mana, you have a better Elven Archer that spawns also a 1/1.
Yeah, it's a Razorfen Hunter, right? With +1 attack. Yeah, the 3 mana 2/3 that spawns a boar. Come on, you don't know boar control?
But it has two attack and no 3/3.
Right, but in this case, it's +1 attack, right? It's like...
yeah, but it also take your opponent's minion, so it basically deals 1 damage too.
that's insane.
Yep, good card, right? But the Implosion hitting for 4 was a huge deal. Allowed Stan Cifka to even have more board control without investing more mana. But it seems like in this position, what Dog has to do is just to develop the Piloted Sky Golem and deal insane damage to the face.
Yeah, what's interesting about this spot too is that Stan Cifka can play Sylvanas, but it'll feel really slow. So he might be just incentivized to try to play defense. Yeah, Belcher's alright here. Belcher is amazing. Dog is unlikely to play silences. So it's alright. Sylvanas makes it so you take 11. So you know there's not gonna be 6 immediately coming from the Paladin, but it could have been really close, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This Sylvanas was really risky.
It's greedy. That's Stan Cifka. In a nutshell, Stan Cifka makes the greedy plays. That's his play style.
Hero Power and Keeper of Ulduman on Sylvanas and go face with 11 damage.
I can get behind that, but Dog has other plans, and the plans involve giving his opponent a
second tournament medic.
Oh, that is actually negating the life tap damage for Stancifka and killing 1/1s for the rest of time, basically.
Yeah, but it's the second time we see a drop from Spalted Sky Golem, and it's actually the same card. Tournament
Sure.
Medic.
Yeah, it's like that tournament I casted. I think with you we saw like 3 whirling Zapomatics.
Oh yeah, right.
That
That was
was
crazy too.
ridiculous. Yeah. You know,
Redonkulous.
it's kind of funny here because if he plays Dr. Boom, there's a chance that Dog has Kings plus True Silver, which wins right away. Whereas if he plays, Life Tap and Belcher or Life Tap and Healbot, then he's like, there's almost no way that he dies. Consecration.
Second consecration. That's one of the biggest burst potentials for Dog. Wow.
Yeah, funny enough.
13 damage.
Crazy.
If on there would be already a True Silver champion on the board.
So I guess you just mark it here, right? There's...
Well, we can't really afford to lose the damage anymore. And the fact that you have 2 consecrations in your hand allow you to clear the board after the Keeper Ulduman made the Dr. Boom actually weak to double consecrations. So yeah, definitely you have to smoke it up and deal the damage to the face.
Yeah, Stancifka, however, can trade Dr. Boom away and Twisting Nether if he wants. He then has the opportunity to use or get initiative on Siphon Soul. However, this is kind of the, I'm going to reset the board because I can play, as opposed to being the play maybe that is optimized for, long game play.
Those bombs are kind of awkward though.
Yeah.
4 damage to the face is nice, but I would say that Stancifka would rather have the bomb with 4 damage on the Palette Shredder instead. Just to have the better play with an example Hellfire here.
I think you tap for free here. It costs you no damage, right? You don't take any.
What a combo, man! This
That's
has to
actually-
hit the constructed.
Dude, look at that. Defensive Argus kills the 3/4 with Dr. Boom. Oh, goodness. He can do it. If he really wants to, he can do it. But he might be considering, a Healbot? Yeah, I'm guessing Belcher or Healbot is definitely a decent alternative. That's pretty amusing. Wait, that's... Attack, double consec. He's 1 off lethal, right?
Oh my god, you're right.
No, actually, he's got it. He has lethal. Double consec is lethal, exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't realize he could have actually attacked with the Shredder instead, to the face instead of the 3/4. So basically, that's exactly 8 damage. So Stancifka not healing up at all, making the greedy plays, not
he
using the
healed.
Argus. Well, yeah.
Tournament Medic.
What a heal. And another 3-0 for the day. Dog is going to go up 3-0. Stancifka, however, that was his last match for the entire group stage. So now he's 2-2, and he's just going to wait there until everybody plays their matches to see what their score is so that he can see whether or not he ranks up well against them.
But man, 3 matches, 3 3-0s. Something is on the line, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's some serious dominance in the air right now. Maybe the players just want to speed up their game. Maybe there's another event going on, right? Like the Hearthstone gathering somewhere, and the guys are like, "Yeah, let's just speed this up." So let's just do
But
this
it's really
quick.
sweet of you that you're talking like the players have to play another game of Hearthstone instead of just going drinking, like
Like they actually do, right?
yeah.
I know Stancifka is all about the nightlife. I heard he's a pretty big party animal, but, I can't confirm. I was not there. So that being said, we'll be taking a short break, guys, before we come back with Life Coach versus Cypher. This will be Life Coach and Cypher's, of course, last match in Phase 1 of the group stage, and we'll see who ends up moving forward. Dog and Hot Form will be playing the last match. We've got 2 more of those today. We'll see whether or not they're going to be 3-0s, because that could potentially speed up the entire day drastically. So
Yeah,
we'll be taking a short break. And stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.